Welcome guys. This tutorial is probably, gonna amaze you. It's just, so amazing being a first tutorial and everything. No, I'm just kidding. This is just a basic tutorial on what I've kind of figured out. I just needed to put something out there, and also I think I've seen it misused in a lot of ways. Is Era gave out his chains for C4D, Cinema 4D, in one of his last packs, maybe his 10K pack, I'm not really sure, maybe it was just separate, when it renders out, you just put it into Cinema 4D like I have. I'm just giving you an example. I used it on the Dare background I just made. You can go check that out. It's actually, yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. Hope they like it. Hope they even look at it. I hope. But it'll just come as this, and it's just a cloner on this that just clones. It's the same ring in different ways, and it looks really nice when they do this. Well, okay. Well, anyways, it's gonna be really slow. My computer's it's running Skype and Spotify and all this. It's not the greatest computer, but what you're gonna do is just render it out wherever you're gonna render it to. I put it in with my Darth projects where I keep everything, like my backgrounds, and then to get an effect, I think this looks really nice on here. What I would do is just open it up, and I'll teach you, because this is the finished product with my Lightroom. It's actually is Boz X Lightroom, and I just added a few lights. It's my modified version. I think it turns out really nice, and the text turns out really nice. But just an effect for this is what it'll turn out with, which looks alright, but when you put it into here, it looks whitish compared with without a color correction, or even with one. It really brings out the whites, and if you like that, that's alright, but I would really suggest just putting over on a gradient overlay like this. And if your chain, depending on how you put it, you want the chain to be, well, how do I explain this? You want it to be where black's at one end and the white is at one end, not going, you don't want it split, okay, you don't want it split down the middle like this, not like that. You want it split down the middle like this, so you can see a color difference from that way. And what I would do, instead of white, I would put this, because I used white on the Darth background, which turned out alright, but what I would do is put a dark gray, and then it really tones it up like that to a dark gray, and then you can actually go even darker. I think that would help. Like that. It's on overlay again. You guys see the difference? And remember, this is just when you're doing this, it'll stick this way. Like if you turn it this way, it's alright if you put the grays on it like that, but I would do it this way. The way it renders in when you pull it into Cinema 4D, that's the way it renders, or that's the way it comes in, is horizontal, not vertical. So I just keep it that way when I rendered it, and just keep it this way as showed you. Then I'll show you how to make it look good in here. You can either save it as a Photoshop, then place it in here, or you can just pull this up and drag the layer into here. It doesn't change this layer at all. Go here, and what you can do is pull. It's huge. I render at 1920 by 1080 or whatever it is. It's 1080. It's really good quality, but just make it smaller on backgrounds. The smaller the item, first of all, the less space it takes up, and second of all, a lot of times the better it looks, because you won't notice like details, smaller details or anything like that in it. And this is just one way I've used chains. But when, let's say, you're putting it on to here, and you can see these ones are much smaller, and how they fade into the background is either, obviously you just put it behind, but I don't think that looks as good. So just take an eraser, a huge soft eraser. Well, if my computer could load, that'd be really good, but I have it on 0 and 400, 401, 300s will work. It's whatever. Click off, and then just click on the very outer edge a few times, then drag it down in and do it a few more times, and it really fades it into where it's going. And you might be able to just duplicate that again, Control J, or drag it down to this new layer. But what then I would do is just make everything right click. Well, you could Control T, right click, flip horizontal, then drag over. That's all you really gotta do. and then you can do it all on all edges. Remember, like I said, the smaller it gets, the better it's probably gonna look. Like, I think that looks even better. And you can always re-add, you know, the effects. It looks fine, but especially under color corrections that I have set up, I'll do those in another tutorial. But the ones that I have set up and I use, but this, I think it looks really good. It turns out pretty good. And make sure you guys rate, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me. And just comment on what you would like to see, and what tutorials, what backgrounds, what speed arts. I'm selling them. I think my prices are pretty cheap comparatively, but you know, for something like this, I would do $6, $5, whatever. You can haggle with me. I don't really care, because I just like to make some money on YouTube. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll get off of here now, and I'll do another tutorial some other time. Look for videos every other day to every day.